So I saw this on the internet and I thought it was really interesting. Graham Stephan, I'm a huge fan of Graham Stephan. Some people find him annoying, some people find him interesting. Look, overall, the internet spoken, he is popular. And so within his second channel, not his main Graham Stephan channel, the second channel, he reacts to a bunch of people spending their money, all right? And of course, he goes through how they made the money and how he feels about the money. And so what I'm gonna do is, I'm a wannabe millionaire that wants to react to a millionaire reacting to these crazy people. And I thought, oh, that'd be interesting, but then I thought, oh, why not do it for this video? So this video is about Graham Stephan reacting to Brian Jung, reacting to himself reacting to Brian Jung. So I thought I've run out of creativity, and so this might as well be something I do. So welcome to Wannabe Millionaire reacts to Millionaire, reacts to Brian Jung, reacts to Brian Jung being reacted to by, oh my gosh, I'm done. Let's watch this video.
Welcome back to the Graham Stephan Show. So the other day, I reacted to Brian Jung on millennial money and his $3.7 million income. It was absolutely insane. And today, he's responded back. So
they all start this kind of dramatic stuff, and that's good because it gets all the engagement, but you know, good tactic.
Here's my response to his response to me. We're going down the rabbit hole at this point, but anyway, here's what I think of Brian Jung. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe.
Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to my channel as well, because I think if this catches on, I'm gonna keep going, although this is the first time I'm doing it and it's kind of, well.
Now with that said, let's begin.
Ladies and gents, welcome back to another video. Something new, something a little different.
Every time I look at his face, you know, I feel like something really bad's happened to the market. I guess, you know, I've really only just started watching this guy, you know, from the peak of the market. So every time, you know, he breeds hope into, that's what all crypto YouTubers do, I guess. But it's a bittersweet feeling looking at this face.
From the crypto bedazzle jazzle. Did that make any sense? Probably not. Well, we went ahead and got a full reaction video coming from Graham reacting to my millennial money episode.
I feel like I probably should watch the millennial money, but
there's probably a strong chance you already know of who he is, but either way, I'm going to be linking their second channel down below in the description for you guys to check out as well.
And of course, I'll be doing the same thing. If you haven't checked out Brian Jung, go check out it in the description below. And of course, Graham Stephan's main and the second channel as well, because I think I've been probably the most influenced by these two people. And of course, those two guys are beating this channel in terms of subscribers, and we can't let that happen. So make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to this channel. Let's go.
My name is Brian Jung. I'm 25 years old. I make about $3.7 million.
$3.7 million, yeah, that's a lot.
You got the Lambo though. Tai Lopez ruined the Lamborghini. After Tai Lopez, every influencer got a Lambo, and then everyone had one. So Brian, I would upgrade this to a Ford GT.
Your Ford GT is sick. That looks amazing. Hopefully one day I can check it out because I'm a big fan of cars, and that right there is a classic.
Yeah, see, Brian, it's not too late to trade it. And you know what, how about this? If you want to buy the Ford GT, for the right price, I'll sell it. No, seriously, for the right price, I'll sell it at this point, because I never drive it. I get too scared to take this thing out because it's too valuable.
So I drive a Toyota Orion, right? Because of that same reason. Not that I can't afford these super expensive cars. But no, I don't know. I like cars, but I think they're great to look at once you buy it. The maintenance is pretty, and also if something happens to it, people say it's all relative. Maybe you're just not rich enough to be able to afford these cars, and you know, those costs just is basically next to nothing, so you can just hold on to the cars. But I don't know, man, it's just, some things just can be too precious. I don't want to be one of those people that end up being used by the car instead of using the car. Luxury cars, I love looking at them, but when it becomes mine, that's when I start to lose my cool.
You could get all the way up to $100 when you sign up for FTX US down below in the description.
All right, my partnership with bitget gives you up to $4,000 in cryptocurrency. So if you haven't done so, make sure you go check out in the link in the description below. Sign up to bitget. Of course, there are other exchanges that I'm pushing as well, so go check them out as well. I mean, these guys are only supporting FTX because it's a very US-based cryptocurrency exchange, and I guess they're in the US. Predominantly, their market is the United States, so I guess that's fine. So okay, so they're saying that FTX surpassed Coinbase as the second biggest centralized crypto exchange in May. Okay, interesting. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a look at exchanges. We're gonna look at, for example, derivatives. A lot of you like trading derivatives, right? bitget and ByBit both sitting higher in volume than FTX, so they are actually a lot more superior. They're giving bigger rewards, and they're available in more jurisdictions as well. So of course, why wouldn't you be trading on bitget, mexc, and ByBit? These are my three absolutely favorite exchanges there. So forget FTX, guys. Come join the bitget, ByBit, and the mexc clan, because that's where y'all want to play. You get me?
What?
Once I was able to invest and have some equity within this restaurant here, it actually opened my doors to invest in other restaurants. Now, the great thing about this is I would actually have to wait a few years for my money to pay out. I get an owner's distribution check that I write to myself every single month. Once I'm able to pay off that investment, then that's free cash flowing for the rest of my life.
Yeah, so I want more details about this, Brian. I would love for you to make a video talking about the restaurant. It just seems like, well, like, what valuation did you pay for the restaurant? 5% doesn't seem like worth it.
I don't know if he said 5%. He said he was going to wait a few years to get his money back out. I mean, few meaning 3. A couple meaning 2, several meaning 7, few 3 to 4, I guess, is what it means. That means his returns are going to be 33, 25%. But if it is 5%, that is pretty low, because for the risk that you're taking, investing into a business or a cash flow that normally isn't leverageable, meaning you can't borrow from the banks to be able to then increase your cash on cash income, well, then that's kind of not very high. 5% return is what you'll get with commercial property returns. I know, because that's my day job here in Australia. I definitely would love to see some more detailed videos on how that actually works and how much return there would be. Oftentimes, businesses sell on a profit multiplier basis. And so if he were to then own a portion of that business that's already existing, I suspect that your returns would have to be slightly better than 5%. And when I say slightly, a lot better than 5%, because it is a business.
But again, it depends on how much you paid for it. And I would like for you to get your money back in like a year and a half.
That makes a lot more sense. Be able to get the money back in a year and a half, what does that work out to be? That's about 75% return on your initial investment. But that also comes with a lot of risk, because, restaurants, eating, food chains, you never know. Yeah, some food tastes great, but sometimes it doesn't make a lot of money.
My mom initially worked in a hair salon. Now she actually has a job at the post office. My father, when he first immigrated to the US, he actually had a job.
I mean, this is the classic immigrant story, right? I mean, I think he's Korean, right? I'm Korean, he's Korean. I think it looks like he's a second generation Korean. I'm kind of the same, in Australia. I relate very much. Tell us your story. Leave it in the comments below.
I love the screens here, by the way. We got me watching him, watching me, watching. How far down the rabbit hole could we go? Now we just need Brian watching me, watching Brian, watching me, watching Brian. Oh man, this thing is funny. It's the infinite monetization loop on YouTube. It goes forever. We should keep going long enough until you can't even see the screen. It's just a reaction.
I'm just gonna sprinkle my face all over that right now. There we go. And yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about. And now it's Graham watching Brian, watching Graham, watching Brian, and then now I'm watching it as well. So I guess I'm trying to leech off of their cloud. You see what I'm trying to do here? The creativity really has run right in the bear market. Let's go.
A lot of what I've done is because of them.
Oh, I bet they're loving this right now. The son's making $4 million a year. They'll be taking.
See that smile right there? That smile right there is a smile of an accomplished second generation immigrant Asian son. I have yet to make that smile. That's a smile that we all work towards, right? And that's stuff the money, but it's that smile that we are working for. Look, pay attention to how Brian's face goes. Watch this vid.
Care for sure. That's it. He just needs one good year, and then just don't screw it up.
I've had a really great year last year with me going viral on TikTok and stuff, and don't screw it up is such a good advice, right? Because yeah, with everything that new that you're trying, there's always bound to be something there. I want to see how this man's career will sort of evolve. Not that I'm in a position to like comment or critique, from a position of, lofty heights of finance or anything like that, but just from an onlooker, just somebody who is a wannabe still. But yeah, I would love to see these guys, I guess my heroes, do really well.
When you have the bag, don't fumble it. I've learned that through sports. I've learned that through life. I'm doing my best out here to make sure I don't fumble the bag. I noticed, a lot of people tend to lose momentum, a lot of steam. For me, I just want to keep going.
Yeah, that's going to be the hardest part for him right now, is continuing through what I call the lull of the trenches, because crypto, I remember, is very cyclical. In 2017, any crypto channel were blowing past mine. Like, I was doing just general personal finance, and I see these channels talking about Bitcoin and crypto and altcoins, and they would get to 100,000 subscribers in like a few months. They would pass me in views, and I'm sitting there thinking, what am I doing wrong? What happened? And then all of a sudden, the crypto market tanked. 2018, all of those channels have disappeared. Almost no one from back then is still around today. And that makes it challenging for a very cyclical market like crypto, because when things are going well, going really well, when things are going bad, it takes a lot of just self-discipline to push through the time where you're not getting the same views as before. The same thing happens, by the way, with personal finance, but with crypto, it's like the highs are even higher and the lows are lower. So he's got to stick this through for probably a few years to really build up that momentum.
That's very true. I mean, for me, I actually jumped on that bandwagon with TikTok, and it's just I just went completely crazy. But the lulls are very, very low, and I guess you could try to pivot your strategy as well. Brian actually is the other way around. I've actually noticed that he actually started to make videos on personal finance, credit card. You know how like credit card point system sort of go around and round, and then you kind of make money sideways. Is that the right way to put it? I don't know. There's something interesting there. You just get different point system, and then you just basically clock in lots and lots of credit and lots of points to enjoy all the perks that these credit cards bring you. I think it's called a credit card hack or something. But that's how he started it off, got some views, and then he jumped on this bandwagon, which is the cryptocurrency. And then after that, now it's down, but I think he can still continue to create that content. And not to mention, I think the cycles are potentially shortening as well. Now my opinions are coming out as well, not financial advice. But yeah, it's going to get quite cyclical. Hence why you see me doing this kind of stuff as well. It's interesting because I started to do YouTube and content wanting to talk about property, real estate, commercial properties, because that was my trade. And I also realized that, crypto is a really interesting part that I could start to share. But I'm here trying to profess like more holistic investment approaches rather than just going for that, going for that gung-ho YOLO into cryptocurrencies, because it is a very, very volatile market, like it always has been anyway.
What Graham said about me fumbling the bag and just not screwing anything up, I'm gonna do my best. I try to keep my investments rather conservative. Yeah, I'm into crypto and the NFT stuff. I still play as a well-diversified portfolio, still holding a lot of cash at this moment, and still making sure that I'm scaling very slowly, and I'm trying to keep that risk very outward.
I think that's smart. If it were me, I'd probably limit the risky investments to like 20%.
I'd even do like 10%
to your portfolio. And a normal person, by the way, I'd say, 10%. 10% really risky, that's okay. For him, 20, because he's got a channel, it's all about, riskier investments or crypto. I think that's fine. Maybe even 30%, fine. But the bulk of it, like 70%, really should be safe, solid, just like core, fundamentally sound investments, good index funds. I think that would be the best.
I did pay all of my student loans off during the pandemic. It's because I went to community college that I was able to change my life around as well.
See, I don't really rate a super high education either. People who have an opinion on college and, higher education don't often have higher education themselves, all right? These guys went to community college and then they did real well, I guess, but I didn't go to community college. I full on went to law school. I full on went to like a really nice school, university. But hear from somebody who has actually been there, I also agree with these people as well. So I just want to add a little bit more weight there. University isn't everything. Seriously, it's about how you apply yourself and the attitudes, and those people that don't go to university but still have a drive, they can actually succeed far better, like these guys have been as well. So that I cannot agree with even more. In terms of fumbling and investments and stuff like that, they really need to get into the real estate game. Real estate is really, really awesome. I mean, some of the opportunities that are going to present itself in the next year or so is going to be absolutely mad. And of course, especially in real estate, don't just look at residential stuff, but also look at commercial, because there's some unreal stuff. If you'd like some more content about commercial properties, do let me know in the comments below, and I will be hooking you up real nice.
$50,000 a month in investments. I mean, what am I supposed to say to that? Amazing. Good job, Brian. Where's all the other money going, actually? Because if he's making 3.7, unless they're basically taking his last 6 months and like extrapolating that over the following 6 months, maybe that's it. He should be investing more because nothing else is that high.
Yeah, so that's a really good question, Graham. They actually did take an average of this year so far in terms of my investment. So there are some months where I put in 300-400K into the market. I believe I did that in April, and there are months.
Holy crap, 300 to 400K into cryptocurrency in April. That's tough.
It's where I don't buy in at all. Even though right now it says it's $50,000 a month, that's just an average of what we're seeing.
Okay, so that's what it sounds like. He's investing $50,000 a month into the markets. The rest of it is taxes and cash. I'm okay with it if he's, saving it. I always look at these calculations and I'm like, where's the missing money? It's not all there. Where'd it go? I want to see everything. So that makes sense. It's cash.
Right now, with the times that we're living in, I want to be a bit more conservative of the way I invest into this market. My NFT and crypto portfolio is a decent size, so I don't know how much more I want to keep averaging in.
Invest into real estate, I think. It's rather than being conservative, I reckon you should double down. Everybody knows that, cryptocurrency market's correct really, really large, and we're sitting at 75% correction from the top. Double down, I reckon. You got the money to service these investments. So if I was him, that 20% that he's investing into cryptocurrency, I'd just be doubling down.
Conservative, I'd just be like doubling down. I get with him.
Okay.
It's the YouTube business is so fickle, but at this point for him, I would say it'd be difficult for him to make less than like $100,000 a month, realistically. As long as he doesn't screw this up, it'd probably be at about $100,000 a month. So I would say now is a good time to keep investing as usual.
This is a great time to be investing into a lot of assets, I think, still now. Equities is still looking pretty good, 25% correction from the top. Properties haven't really quite well reflected, but we'll see the impacts of the interest rate and of course the inflation into the property market very soon. And I think those will lead to some pretty good and interesting investment opportunities for various asset classes, not only just crypto and equities.
Earlier this year, I actually had 4 people coming to my apartment every single day, and it was packed. So actually 2 of them were working in the...
So $3,740, $5 a month for a 3-bedroom apartment. Yeah, it's pretty up there. I don't know where exactly he lives in the United States, but that's pretty expensive. That's US dollars. That's almost $5,000 in Australia and $1,200 rents. I don't know if $1,200 rents even exist in my city. If you pay $1,200 a week, you'll get like a 6-bedroom house with a pool, like pretty much a mansion. So why the hell would you live like in a big city, especially if you're a YouTube creator as well? Like I know you got stuff that comes in as well, which is, I guess, helpful. But for me, like this part of the world is pretty good because everything is really cheap here and the water tastes nice either way.
Some people actually notice that mini fridge too. The mini fridge in the living room is actually meant for my employees coming in, just because my fridge was getting full with my own food. I was like, look, if you guys need drinks, your cold brew, your coffee, whatever, put it in that fridge. That is your dedicated fridge. I've consolidated my team since, and now I have my own mini fridge.
Oh, I love that. See, he doesn't need an office. I love the fact that he could just work from home and have people come to him. I think that's the way to do it.
A lot of people actually don't like that, which is, I think, stupid. The amount of times I've heard people say, I don't like working from home. Like, what's the matter with you? Like, I guess they have to work by themselves. Oh, that's why they're lonely. Oh, I get it. I don't mind working from home or working by myself. I actually got an office, but that's to really commercialize all the setup that I have right now. You'll see much more of those updates coming up in some of the vlog videos that I'm gonna do. So keep an eye out, watch this space. It's gonna be fun.
I've been buying the cars that I've wanted and also treating it as an investment as well.
How is the Huracan an investment? Unless he bought it a year ago. And
The Huracan actually went up a significant amount over the pandemic, and here is where the deal settled in. Because the Huracan was so limited in its supply when everything was locked down, it was around $300,000 to $60,000 during its peak. I was able to get this one here for $290K, $280,000, $290K. Even right now, if I flip it, because it's a 2021 model with no miles, I believe right now I could get it for $300,000.
I guess the investment, I think he's just gonna justify like why how he was able to make more money out of it with cars and stuff like that. And people do really well out of it, but I don't know if cars make such great investments. I mean, unless you use the car to actually gain more clout on YouTube, which I guess he's clearly doing. So I guess it works out very well for me. I did hear, I think this guy that's like, oh, if you ain't got a dollar, don't be a borrower or whatever. This Vietnamese guy, the real estate guy on TikTok, but his plans of, getting nice cars is to, gain more clout on social media platforms, which I think works really well.
$10,000 to $320,000 back if I'm able to find the right buyer.
$235,000 for across 3 cars. That's ridiculous. Like in Australia, there's so much luxury car tax. I don't think we'll be able to get the same level of cars for that same price. The 3 cars that he seemed like that he had will probably blow past 400, 500K in Australia.
$1,000 for a Huracan. Inflation, guys. I remember when the Huracans were like 170, 180, 190. You get a good
190 for a Huracan. Australians will kill for that. But yeah, inflation is a big thing. It's just I don't think he's made money out of it.
2016 Huracan with like 15,000 miles on it. It's nuts what the car market's doing right now. Crazy. To transition from stimulus checks to another trending topic, AMC GameStop, it's really hard to bring that audience over and keep them. And then from that into crypto, very few people can do that, and Brian has done it.
It was one of the hardest things in doing that, but I realized even with a credit card audience, the audience is so capped, and there's only so much you can make in terms of content regarding credit cards. Like, how many times can I talk about the Chase trifecta? I just got bored of it. I didn't want to keep making credit card content just because I thought the ceiling for that audience was capped out. I did my part. I put all the information that I knew in earning, redeeming points out to the internet, and when I moved over into stimulus and AMC, that's when I saw some of the biggest growth in my channel.
I remember him doing the live streams and watching it and being like, wow, 30,000 people are watching. That was a really crazy time. It was January of 2021. And I remember seeing live streams of people, and there were like 50,000 people watching a video on just literally the momentum of GameStop and AMC. It was crazy. I honestly, I don't know if we're ever going to have time like that ever again. I hope we do, because that would be great for the channel.
This is a really interesting thing, because what I realized with content is that when you actually make content around hot topics, it's hot because it's actually gone up. So AMC's gone up, and that's why all these viewers came in. Like you've seen the numbers just on the screen. It's crazy numbers coming in. The same thing happens with crypto as well. But I really feel really sad about that, because these are all your FOMO audiences, right? And they'll all disappear just as quickly as they've come. They'll quickly disappear. Same thing happened on my TikTok. Same thing happened on my YouTube channel. Same thing is happening to these guys over here as well. But guys, if you want to actually generate good wealth, like be there when nobody's talking about it. And I guess that's really hard because there's no validation. You're literally taking a gamble. I mean, but if you're a young person, I think that's what you need to do. But the good thing about crypto is that there are cycles that we can identify. So don't get in when it's like beating the previous highs like crazy and everyone's saying we're gonna go to the moon. But jump into the market kind of like around about now when everything is like really down, blood on the streets, and now everyone's just going out, because those will be the best times. That's why it's hard for creators to actually keep creating content. For like 2 or 3 people that are watching out there, like why are we doing that for? We create content so for the viewership as well. That's part of what we do as well. We want to stay genuine, altruistic, but there is not enough motivation, incentive to actually keep going as well. I mean, these guys are making millions a year. They'll still plow away in their businesses to actually gain more views, to make more money. There really is no cap when it comes to running your business or scaling out your business. So I think what these guys are doing is fine, and what we have to inevitably do to match the algorithm and to pump out the content is fine. But if also you are one of those people that are creating content in these peak times and you are just really a big ass downer and all you're saying is like don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Yes, you can be controversial, more people will watch you, but I think you also limit yourself in the viewership as well. It's a tough line to ride in, you know.
Just I'm happy people are interested in investing, even if it's kind of gambling.
Right, that's it right there. I mean, we're just happy that people are jumping into the investing game. If you come in as a FOMO and you learn something and you by losing all that money, well then that's your lesson and that's your lesson fee, and you just have to apply better strategies moving forward.
For my investments, I actually have an array of angel investments. Up to date, I believe about 15 to 20 angel investments I've made within the last year.
It'll be interesting to see how many of those pan out. I'm told that only about 1 in 20, 1 in 25 is actually gonna like make it big, and usually that's enough, you know, wipe out the losses of all the other ones. I know, by the way, we're invested in a few of the same ones. Basically, what a lot of these companies do, they come to all of us, or you know, a big selection of people. We all put in some money in them. It'll be interesting to see what happens on this.
I am completely with Graham, and the one angel investment, or it might be multiple, but the one that I know of at least that we went in on together was Yada Bang.
I mean, it's really interesting because I've actually been in the private equity game, angel investing game, back when I was actually hanging out in China. Xu Xiaoping, which is like, this guy is just like the god of angel investing in China. He would invest in like 200, 300 angel investments, and yeah, absolutely right. The win-loss ratio is ridiculously low. So there are of course like very low wins and, you know, very many losses, right? So that one win is going to basically wipe out the losses of everything else, and some of them they 400x, you know, 600x, and you know, like in China it's like even crazier. It's great that these guys are investing in the same thing. I guess that's helpful. They can use their cloud and stuff like that. It kind of reminds me of like the DAO Maker and, you know, those kind of crypto projects. You know, we invested into the seed fund and there's like a cliff attached to it, you know, to like all the initial investors, you know, they get their money out and stuff like that. There could be big money coming out, there could be very little money coming out. Some of these flop, some of these do really well. But this is like the more regulated scale, right, where you do angel investments and you actually push the products. Looks like they're not actually pushing, but they're happy to talk about it. We actually have to do the similar things when we do actually push certain projects in cryptocurrency as well. Although y'all who invest into these, you know, these sort of launch pad, brand new cryptocurrency projects, you probably want us to actually do more promoting, because more attention, more marketing brings more eyeballs to the actual projects, as well as, you know, it's good utility. And you know, the word utility makes me laugh when we talk about crypto, because what utility, right?
90,005%. So this is a $1.8 million business.
The valuation was actually based on last year's returns. We went through the entire financial statements, and I invested with two other buddies that I had within the space, and one of them is very, very smart. He's a numbers guy. I'm not a huge numbers guy, so he went through all of the numbers. We sat down, just ciphered through it.
It sounds like it's too low of an ROI. I mean, this should be something, in my opinion, that should pay for itself within 2 years at the very most. Ideally, 18 months to get your money back, just because you know, so many things can happen with a restaurant. It looks really good, it seems really good, but I'd want a faster return of capital, maybe 2 years.
Yeah, I think 5% on a business is ridiculously low. And on 1 year's financials, that's ridiculously low as well. I mean, there's no covenant as well. You know, you want a covenant at 5%, you're not leveraging it, so you're literally getting cash on cash 5%, which is ridiculous. Even if you borrow 50% on a commercial property, you cash on cash, you can, you know, easily make 8% on a property that returns, you know, net 5%. I think that's extremely low, and I think he could have parked his money in better places with that regard. I think he just did it so that he can have a place to hang out. A lot of rich people do this. A lot of rich people in my city do this.
I also have an immense crypto portfolio and an NFT collection. One of my NFTs is currently worth over $400,000.
The NFT business is something that I think could either double, triple, could go down 90%. I wouldn't be surprised. It's extremely risky, extremely volatile. 30 years from now, we're gonna look back at this and be like, you bought a bored ape and a mutant ape? I just can't see how these things are gonna remain valuable for like 10 years.
I think it will remain valuable in 10 years' time, because it's like a position in history. It's something that everyone just went crazy over for absolutely nothing. Like, the more ridiculous it is, the more attention there is gonna be, right? I mean, the reason why CryptoPunks did so well is that it's such a crappy looking thing, but it's actually valued so high because so many people were into it in the past, which just blows my mind, right? So that's why CryptoPunks literally went to where they are. I think Bored Ape Yacht Club and Pudgy Penguins even, I think, will make it into that same arena when the new bull cycle comes in, because NFTs are but one application of blockchain technology. I think, yeah, it'll be ridiculous. It's ridiculous now, even more, because, you know, we see it lose value and everyone's laughing at it. But the thing is, with the bull cycle coming in the next 4 years or so, I think some of the people that have made the investment, I mean, and it'd be interesting then again, because of inflation, there would be, yeah, who knows, like $400,000 might not be a big amount of money then, who knows?
I want to have an entire company where I can continue feeding other people, supporting others, allowing them to do something that they want to passionately do.
Great advertisement for the business. I'm curious how many people show up to this restaurant right afterwards. Ask for the Brian special.
Yeah, so actually, if you guys are watching this and you go to Guzo, you can use a little discount code. Let me find it. Yeah, if you guys are watching this and you want to head to...
So if you're famous, you can make money all the time, anytime. It's easy.
I love that.
I'll tell you why Graham loves that. Graham loves that because it's such a brilliant idea to make more money. That's why Brian loves that. No, not Brian. I meant to say Graham.
Or something like that. I like that. I'm glad they did that. I'd love to have you on the Iced Coffee Hour if you want to. And we'd also like you to get a free stock down below in the...
All right, this is where I want to do my plug. I want you to go and get some free crypto down in the description below. Make sure you go check out all the links to trade on bitget so that you can get started in crypto during the bear market, not the bull market, if you know what I mean. All right, boys and girls, thank you so much for tuning into today's video. If you like this kind of content, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I'm sure I'll be doing one of these reaction videos because I've actually genuinely enjoyed that. Let's go. Peace.